First, you soak 3/4 cup raw cashews. 1 28-ounce can of peeled Roma tomatoes. You take the tomatoes, you put the tomato juice in a bowl. You can take the tomatoes to the side separately or leave them in the bowl, but you need to crush the tomatoes and put them back in the bowl. So they didn't come out the can like this. I crushed them myself. Chop up 1 whole yellow onion. You can use a chopping device or you can chop it yourself on a cutting board. Just make sure it's chopped really well. We are warming a large, thick bottom nonstick pan with 1/4 cup of olive oil, good quality olive oil, and we are preheating this olive oil on medium heat so we can saute the chopped up 1 large yellow onion that I just showed you. You want to saute the onions for 3 to 5 minutes on medium heat in that pan that we were preheating. So 3 to 5 minutes, or until they have a translucent color, maybe a very light brown, but like a translucent color. So we're sauteing them for 3 to 5 minutes. I like to use the higher end of 5 minutes. It's just my preference. I like the onions a little bit more cooked. Okay, after the onions have been sauteed for 3 to 5 minutes, you are going to throw in 3 cloves of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, or if you have fresh oregano leaves, 1 tablespoon, but it's 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, but I'm using kosher sea salt. You could use regular kosher salt as well. Make sure it's kosher and not a regular salt. Okay, here we have, I added the oregano, the red pepper, the salt, and the garlic to the onions, and I'm going to saute for an extra 1.5 minutes. The recipe does say to saute for only an extra minute, but I've already done this recipe and I cooked some of the steps just a little longer. It's just my preference. I don't really like raw onions at all, so I would just like to make sure that they're done when I blend it all together in the later steps. So again, I just added the spices that I talked about in the previous clip, and I just added it, and we're gonna saute for just an extra 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. Remember, this is Penne Alla Vodka, so you have to have vodka. We're gonna deglaze the pan with 1 cup of vodka, but 1 cup of vodka is basically a little less than a half pint. So I'm gonna take the pan off the heat, and I'm gonna pour almost all of this half pint of vodka. I'm gonna take it off the heat because I don't want to pour the vodka in the pan and then risk an accidental fire.
This is his assistant who cleans the kitchen right after everything's done.
Okay, so this is the onion spices mixture. We poured in the 1 cup of vodka to deglaze the pan, and we are going to let it simmer for 2 to 3 minutes before we add in the peeled plum tomatoes that we had set aside earlier. Okay, after the deglazed onion and seasonings have simmered for 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to pour in our tomatoes. I'm going to scoop out the rest of that sauce that's in the bowl. I'm going to put that in here. And we're going to add in 1 more 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. So a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt in here. I'm going to do that right now. And then I'm going to mix this up after I scrape off the rest of that tomato sauce in this bowl, or in the pan. Okay, I added the 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt plus the rest of the tomato sauce that was left in the bowl. I scraped it out and put it in here. We are going to let this simmer on low to medium heat for 10 to 15 minutes. I prefer 15 minutes. Again, I already told you I like to cook on the slightly higher end or of the times, the longer times. For numbers, low medium is probably around a 3 or 4 number on the churn knob for your stovetop. So I have mine just before a 4, and again 10 to 15 minutes. For me, 15 minutes. You could do 12 or 13. Also, to the second that you have your mixture simmering, the second it starts, you want to start boiling some water. I already have my water boiling. I started it a little early. If you want to, you can as well. If you wait to boil the water until the very end, the sauce and stuff is going to be sitting, so you don't want that. So again, start boiling the water the second that this starts, so that this will definitely be boiling before your sauce mixture is done. We have a few more steps. This mixture has 1 minute left. Okay, when this is done, you are going to take this, put it in a blender with the cashews that we had soaking earlier, the 3/4 cup of raw cashews. But you're also going to add 1/2 cup of water. So this mixture, the raw cashews that we're soaking, plus 1/2 cup of water and this blender, and you're going to blend it before you return it back to this pan. Okay, so this was the blend of the tomato mixture plus the cashews plus the 1/2 cup of water. I didn't specify, but you were supposed to blend it on high for 60 seconds. I'll have the recipe linked somewhere, but you'll get this beautiful orange sauce. We're gonna have this simmer for 3 to 5 minutes. So you pour it, once you're done blending it, you pour it back in your saute pan and have it simmer for 3 to 5 minutes. Hopefully you guys were one step ahead and you already put your noodles in the pot to boil. Here we have our noodles. Once the orange sauce that we had in the pan is done simmering, we're gonna dump these noodles in the sauce mix and we will have the final result. So we are almost at the final result, but this is what it looks like in the pan with the final sauce and the penne noodles cooked and mixed in. It looks absolutely amazing and it tastes great. You guys seen all the ingredients. It's all vegan. I will show you the final results in the bowl with a couple final touches that I'm gonna do. Okay, here is the final result. I put it in a bowl and I added vegan Parmesan cheese from the brand Follow Your Heart, and I actually put the bowl in the microwave to melt the cheese just a little bit. Not crazy, not too much. I didn't want to keep heating up the pasta, but it's like halfway melted. I did this yesterday and I put it in here for longer, the microwave, and you can melt it even more if you want. So, and then this is the brand of Parmesan cheese, dairy-free, vegan. And these are 3 Impossible spicy sausages from the brand Impossible. It's these ones. I took 3 of them, so it tastes really good. These again, it might be a little bit crazy, but I microwave them. They come out very juicy. There's not too much of a crunch or anything. You can put them on a pan. You can put them in an air fryer. So again, that's the final result right here for mine. And this is for my wife. Again, the noodles are vegan. Everything's vegan, but she added her own Italian sausage. It's pork. She cooked that. And she added some shrimp for her. Again, she could cook that as well. So she cooked the meat, and then she added her own Parmesan cheese. So again, everything in here is vegan. The noodles are vegan except the meat and the cheese. Mine is 100% vegan. And there you go.